Okay, so let's build a really simple breadboard circuit. Your very first circuit that's going to take advantage of the breadboard and the Arduino Uno. In this case, we're going to use the Arduino as nothing more than a power supply. That's it. It's going to be a very, very quick, simple demonstration. All right? And I think what I want to do is I'm going to show you first on Tinkercad what we're going to build, and then we'll build it in the real world and we'll give it a quick test. So if I jump over to Tinkercad, um, I've already dragged an Uno onto this, and I already have the breadboard from the last one. I actually want to orient it the other way, so I'm going to spin this guy 180 degrees. And that's just because moving forward, we're going to take advantage of a lot of these I/O, and I want them close to the board. So what I want to do is I want to power these buses. Again, I want to stress that your bus is separate right here, okay? So, or could be. I don't know for sure what you have, but there's a good chance you do not have a continuous run from here all the way over to here. You probably have a gap. Most of the new ones that have been shipping have a gap here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually first connect these buses. So this is the negative bus. So what I want to do is I want to take a ground wire and I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to make ground a dark color like black. And then I'm actually going to make it look kind of nice. I want to pull that up. If I double click, I can add a joint, and it's kind of a stretchy joint, and some lines appear to make it look kind of nice. And I'll do the same thing here. Put another joint down there. And voila, I've made a nice symmetrical looking thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a power to it. So I'll do the same thing. I'm going to go to 5 volts. And I'm going to connect it to there. And a couple of double clicks. I'll bring that up so it's a little above. Another double click. Let's bring it out so it's a little beyond. Something like that. Another double click. And then I'm going to make it red. Okay. So let's grab an LED and a resistor. So we want to have an LED. I'll grab a red LED. And I'm just going to place that guy right here, and I'm going to spin it. Notice the side with a little bend on it. Let's zoom in on that guy. All right. That's the anode. That's going to be the positive side. This is going to be the negative side. This side is also flat. Alright, this side is round, and I'll show you that on the real thing so you get a better handle on it. I'm going to spin this guy a little bit, and I'm going to stick him right there in pin 5. So now the positive is connected here to pin 5. And what I want to do is I want to take and connect from the cathode, the negative, and I'm going to put it over here to ground, and I'm going to make it gray so it's the same color as the LED. And now what I want is a resistor, and I want to grab we're going to use 1K resistors for a lot of this. You could use a lower value. You got to be careful. You don't want to burn out your LED. I would not stick anything less than a 220 or a 330 in with these LEDs that they come with these kits. Especially some of these kits don't have the highest quality parts, and they'll burn out pretty quickly if you overpower them. So we're going to stick with a 1K. It'll light up, just won't be super bright. And I'm going to stick my 1K resistor. Now, watch what's going to happen here. I'm going to actually spin this guy a little bit. Kind of a diagonal. I'm going to put it. So now it's connected into the same bus as this anode, the positive side of the LED. And then I'm going to run a wire from here to there. And I'm going to put it as gray so it looks like I've stretched my resistor right across. So what I've got now is electrons rushing in. They can make it to the resistor. They can flow. Remember, these are all connected, right? So they flow into the anode side of the LED. And then from the cathode side it goes to ground, and I've got a complete circuit. And let me show you this real quick. What is a 1K resistor? The easiest way, there's a couple different types. There's 5-band and 4-band resistors. If I actually do a quick search on a 1K resistor, And then if I go to images, okay, so a 1K resistor is going to be a brown, black, red with either silver or gold if you have a 4-band resistor. The 5-band ones are a little bit harder to read, and I actually took a photograph of the ones that have been shipping with some of these cheaper kits. The bands they don't have quite a clear separation, but you should see 3 browns and 2 blacks. Okay, now this last brown is going to be a possibility of shifting, because this is going to be the accuracy, the precision of the resistor. So what you're really looking for is 2 blacks sandwiched between 2 browns. And if you want to know how this works, these are going to be, browns mean 1, blacks mean 0. So that's going to be 100 times 10 ohms. And of course I have a whole video on reading resistors. And that's going to be our 1000 ohm resistor. And on the 4-band types, it's going to be brown, black, red, 1, 0 times 100. So we're going to have 1000 to give us that 1K resistor. So I've got a 1K resistor in here. And if I start the simulation, what should happen is it lights up. Okay? So let's build it real quick. So here I go. I got my circuit. Here's my LED. Look carefully. Alright. I've actually bent this if you buy one or when you get it brand new. Okay, the positive side is going to be longer than the negative side. And with young eyes, you'll be able to see there's a little flat here on the negative side, whereas the positive side is all round. What I've done is I've taken and put a little bend in it, like that. So that way I can easily spot the positive side from the negative side. So I've got this one already bent. I'm going to go ahead and take my ground, and I'm going to plug it in here in one of the ground buses. And I'm going to plug this over here to the ground bus on the breadboard. And now I'm going to take my 5 volt, which is there, looking carefully. Be very, very careful when you try to insert that. They're really close and sometimes hard to read. I'm going to plug that in there. Now I'm going to take my LED, and I think on my diagram I had it hooked up around 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one. I'm going to take the ground and plug it in to the ground bus. Okay, so this ground wire is in the blue bus, and I have the positive side hooked into this column with 5. And now I'm going to take my resistor, just like I did here, and I'm going to span it from the positive bus over to this column, which is connected to the positive side, the anode side of the LED. And then we should be able to get this to work. So I'm going to plug this guy in, and like this. And forgive me, I need to have my glasses to make sure I'm good. Okay, so yep, negative, positive, into the same group of 5 for the resistor, back to positive, double check, I'm in 5 volts, I'm in ground. So if I plug this guy in, the light lights up. Okay, so a simple circuit, it's fun, easy. Give it a whirl, test it, make sure it's good, and I'll see you again really, really soon.